back to my channel. I read 7 books in the month of July, and here are the books I read. I started the month off with a romance book, The 99 Boyfriends of Micah Summers. This was such a cute romance book. This is about Micah Summers, obviously. You see it in the title. Has this Instagram account where he posts drawings of guys he has a crush on, and he gets to number 100. Find boy 100. He thinks that this needs to be totally special. He knows this gotta be perfect. He sees the guy on the subway, and they end up having a talk. And when they're clicking, the guy gets off the subway, but he ends up forgetting his jacket. The guy wants to go back to grab the jacket, and he ends up staying in the subway. He finds little hints in them, where he works, where he goes. He ends up finding him. So it's basically just this Cinderella retelling. Obviously, this is not how the book ends, right? So something happens, and I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars, I think. If you're looking for something romance that will just make you giggling, 99 Boyfriends of Micah Summers by Adam Sass. Have a go with this. These Violent Eyes by Huang. It was such a banger. I cannot call this fantasy because it's like fantasy with historical fiction, with mystery, with a tiny bit of romance, with a lot of themes of really important themes that are touched upon, like Western imperialization or colonization. It was just so good to see these themes represented in a book. Juliet, the heir to the Scarlet Gang, and Roma, the heir to the White Flowers. These 2 gangs have been on a blood feud for decades now, but when a serious disease that makes people kill themselves, including the people in the gangs, heirs, Juliet and Roma have to work together to defeat the disease. These 2 had a bit of a thing before, and also this is a Romeo and Juliet retelling. So you can see Roma, Romeo, Juliet, and then Roma has these 2 companions, Benedict and Marshall, which obviously come from Mercutio and Benvolio. You know I love the Summer Night's Dream, so I read Romeo and Juliet, and you know I love Shakespeare. So I love those little hints and tiny bits of things. This was a really good book. I gave this 4.5 stars. It was a really good book. I can't wait for the second book. Also, this does not at all feel like a debut book, which surprised me a lot. The only thing that I did not like about this book is that it had a lot of these flowery descriptions. At first seemed really nice, but when the whole book has these descriptions, I just get bored at some point. Then I think I read the summer trilogy, which includes The Summer Turned Pretty, It's No Summer Without You, and We'll Always Have Summer. If you're not familiar with this series, second season aired out a couple weeks ago. So I read the summer trilogy. The whole series, it's such a summer vibe. If you plan to read this book in the summer, don't read them in any other season, just in the summer. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. It's about these 2 moms, Laurel and Susanna. Susanna has this beach house in Cousins. These 2 with their kids, they come each summer at the beach house and they spend their summer there and they become friends. And Belly ends up having a crush on both brothers, Jeremiah and Conrad, and we follow her trying to make a decision which one does she like more, but then something else happens. The series, I feel has been getting a lot of popularity in the last year, so I think you're familiar with it. I think you know what happens, and I don't want to spoil it because I don't know what the blurb says. So anyways, give it 4 stars. It wasn't such an intricate writing style. It isn't supposed to be something intricate. This for what it was. And I have Happy Place by Emily Henry. I read Happy Place, and I was so excited to read this book. I'm one of Emily Henry's biggest fans. I love her books because they're not just a romance combined with all of these themes. It's not just the relationship between the 2 love interests. It's a relationship between friends, which is like mostly what this book is about. Then it's relationship within children and their parents. I love that as well in this book. It's about careers and choosing a career. I give it 5 stars. Let me tell you what this is about. It's about these 6 friends. Every summer they come at this beach house in Maine. The house is being sold, so this is the last summer they're going to this beach house. We follow Win and Harriet. They've broken up, but they haven't told the other 4 friends. None of their families know about their breakup. I think this is the last week they're gonna be in the beach house. They don't want to make it awkward. They want their friends to have a good time, so they're supposed to keep a secret for like a week. They've been doing this for years. They've been in a relationship for years, so they know how to act around each other to not seem fake. Like all the characters, all the relationships. Anyways, Family Henry. This was a really good romance. This was a really nice book. I saw on her Instagram page she said something about another book, Funny Story, which I don't know when it comes out, but I'm excited to see the cover on 10. The last book that I read was actually another fantasy book. This is Blood Heir by Emily Van Towle. I know this book has faced some controversy online in 2019 when it came out. I decided to just ignore it because reading the premise of the book, I was just like, this is such an original idea for a fantasy. In my mind, people with like magical powers are always like so cool, they're special, and you know, but in this book the people with magical powers are being looked upon. They're being like slaves. We follow Anastasia, which is the princess, and she has an a magical power basically. Because of that, people think she killed her father, so she's supposed to flee the palace, let people think she's dead, try to seek revenge, try to look for the person who murdered her father. And she ends up working with the con man. They end up having a little thing, they make a bargain, they end up trusting each other. This was Blood Heir. Totally enjoyed this. You guys should also ignore the controversy because this is really good. I give this 5 stars. That was my month of July in terms of reading. It was a fun month. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and see you next time. Bye!